This is Guider Kirbs, and for the past, I've been trying to figure out who this guy is. I had come up with a theory before, but it just had too many holes and didn't really make any sense. The other day, however, I was re-watching the Subject 428 series, and there it was. Let's start out by summarizing what we actually know about Guider Kirbs, as we're shown in the story. Obviously, he looks like a certain dog I know, and he appears to be giving information to Kirbs through these books attached to different podiums. Alright, with the obvious information out of the way, now it's time to start getting into the details. In the second canonical episode, titled Log, Guider Kirbs reveals something interesting.
Hello! You might be wondering where you are right now. Well, I was wondering the same thing when I got there. This is the Oh shoot, this is the wrong script. Take 2!
So apparently he reads off of a script, much like I'm doing right now. Just keep that in mind because it'll be important later. Once again, Guider Kirbs almost calls himself the narrator.
Not Guider Kirbs signing out.
Previously in my other video, I claimed that this meant that Kirbs was actually showing us that Guider Kirbs was not so secretly the narrator. But now that I've seen this, it really looks like I was wrong. Well, that and maybe one other thing. Alright, think about it this way. Guider Kirbs is reading from a script, so why would he mess up his own name? Because he read it right off the paper like he was supposed to do. My point can further be backed up because the script that he accidentally repeated was the one from the previous episode where he messed up his name and accidentally called himself the narrator. You might not be convinced yet, but things really only start getting interesting when we think about the other possible identities of Guider Kirbs. If there's more evidence to support that Guider Kirbs is someone besides narrator, that means it's more likely, right? So then that raises the question, what options do we have? Well, Craft Kirbs, Kirbs 107, Kirbs 426, Kirbs 361, Kirbs 43? And of course there's also the option that Guider Kirbs is his own unique character. I'm gonna eliminate a few of them due to some reasons that I can't get into due to time and Alright, you know what? Kirbs 107 is a farmer who, from what we know from the Wildcraft series, seems to be oblivious to the idea of multiple Kirbs. He does, however, seem to know narrator, as revealed in my one and only Wildcraft video.
I've heard too much theories like that. Especially from a guy called narrator.
I'm honestly not proud of it though, it really just felt like I was shoving lore down everyone's throats. The reason for Kirbs 43, well, you know. Kirbs 426, aka the Kirbs Guard, aka the Cloud SMP Kirbs, directly mentions the Subject 428 story.
Well, when we met last time, I sort of annoyed you with the whole story of the Subject 428 thing. Yeah, it's all long past.
So the likelihood of Guider Kirbs being him isn't very likely at all. It would make a bit of sense for him to be the same Kirbs in the Subject 428 series. I haven't really looked into that part though, so please don't quote me on that. And yeah, besides that, I can't really rule out the other ones, at least not yet. But Steve, what about Craft Kirbs? The issue with that is I don't actually know which Kirbs he is. For all we know, he could be Kirbs 43. So what we have left is Guider Kirbs is his own Kirbs, he's a pirate, or he's the Craft Kirbs. Wait a minute. Kirbs is shown wearing a red hoodie, and in this video we can see the same Kirbs writing a book. Book raid, the next episode, and he's speaking directly with the narrator.
What? Who are you?
What?
Why would I need one? So what actually is your real name?
News.
What do you mean? Hello! Guider Kirbs here. So you might be wondering where Kirbs is right now. Well, when I get out of here, I'm gonna...
He asks for his name, and the narrator responds with some sort of distorted language. Kirbs then replies with,
Why would I need one?
and then asks for his name again. and Kirbs doesn't understand what he means. There's text behind the narrator literally saying narrator, so I think we're assuming that is what the narrator said. Feel free to disagree with me on this one, but I'm pretty sure the narrator told him his name the first time. Kirbs then replied asking why he would need a narrator. This being followed by the narrator saying that his name is the narrator, and then that being followed with Kirbs not understanding what he means. Things get crazier at the end of the video, and I'm honestly ashamed I didn't notice this before. The narrator says,
"Do you agree to this offer?"
Followed by this Kirbs agreeing to the offer along with Guider Kirbs himself. Stage 1, where everything appears to wrap itself up, at least for now. There we have a message left by Guider Kirbs, but this one is unusual. It's an audio recording first of all. Secondly, it seems to be a lot more casual and less scripted than the previous encounters. Guider Kirbs then explains that he isn't going to be able to help Kirbs next time. I think Guider Kirbs is Humcraft Kirbs. The red clothes, the direct contact with the narrator, the familiarity with the world of Humcraft. Here's my theory. Humcraft Kirbs, whom we know to have been tormented by narrator, meets him for the first time. But Kirbs ignores him, and for a bit continues on with his life in Humcraft. Eventually, after conversating with the narrator for a while, Kirbs is offered a deal, and he agrees to it. The deal had to do with Kirbs becoming Guider Kirbs and reading out a script for the new Kirbs who arrives later. There appears to be some sort of condition within the deal that he broke. This angered the narrator, and so he was taken over by some corruption of some sort. Maybe this is because of the narrator, but I'm not really sure on that though. So overall, I think that Humcraft Kirbs and Guider Kirbs might be the same Kirbs. This theory really relies on one piece of information which I haven't gotten yet, so Kirby, you have the power to knock down my entire theory or build it a block further, so why not show me what's next? Worst case scenario, I try it again. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, then go ahead and press all the buttons underneath the video. Maybe you'll figure out what those do. Also, if you're really confused, don't worry, so am I. I would highly encourage you to go ahead and watch Kirby's whole entire series of Subject 428. The story will make a whole lot of sense overall if you go ahead and do that. And if you'd like to, you can also watch my first theory as well, though there's a lot of stuff in that theory that doesn't really line up with this one, and so I'll have to sort between the two eventually.